Detroit's playoff hopes died a painful death on Christmas Day as the Lions turned the ball over 6 times without forcing a single takeaway in a stunning 23-10 collapse against Minnesota. The loss officially eliminated Detroit from postseason contention and handed the Green Bay Packers a playoff berth as an early holiday gift. Jared Goff endured a nightmare performance, throwing 2 interceptions, losing a fumble, and playing a role in 2 additional turnovers on botched snaps. It was the kind of catastrophic meltdown that ends seasons and haunts quarterbacks through the offseason. Minnesota played with house money, starting third-string quarterback Max Brosmer after J.J. McCarthy suffered a hairline hand fracture and Carson Wentz was lost for the year with a shoulder injury. Already eliminated from playoff contention, the Vikings employed a conservative, vanilla offensive attack that relied on not beating themselves. The trickery came late when Jordan Addison took a jet sweep 65 yards to put Minnesota up by 10 with under 4 minutes remaining. That explosive play sealed Detroit's fate and capped a defensive masterpiece by the Vikings. The Lions gift-wrapped the first score late in the opening quarter when Goff couldn't handle a snap in his own territory. Andrew Van Ginkel pounced on the loose ball, giving Minnesota possession at Detroit's 16-yard line. 5 plays later, Aaron Jones powered in from 1 yard out for the opening touchdown. Detroit immediately coughed up the ball again on their next possession. Jahmyr Gibbs lost the handle amid a swarm of Vikings defenders, continuing the turnover parade that would define this disaster. Goff managed to orchestrate a terrific drive just before halftime, connecting with Isaac Tesla for a touchdown that tied the game at 7. That brief moment of competence proved to be Detroit's only bright spot in an otherwise dreary performance. The third quarter brought consecutive interceptions on back-to-back drives, both resulting in Vikings field goals that pushed Minnesota ahead. The second interception was particularly dreadful. Goff fired a pass over the middle intended for Amon-Ra St. Brown that Harrison Smith easily stepped in front of and intercepted. It was the kind of decision that makes coaches pull their hair out. Goff's turnover trifecta continued early in the fourth quarter when he got sandwiched between Dallas Turner and Van Ginkel, coughing up the football. Jalen Redmond recovered, giving Minnesota yet another short field. After Addison's touchdown sprint pushed the lead to double digits, Detroit committed one final turnover on yet another botched snap out of the shotgun. Van Ginkel wrestled both the ball and Detroit's faint playoff hopes away from Goff on that play. Brosmer finished with just 51 passing yards and 48 yards lost on 7 sacks, resulting in 3 net passing yards. That's the fewest net passing yards in a victory by any team since 2006. Unlike his first career start against Seattle that ended in a 26-0 shutout loss, Brosmer protected the ball with 0 turnovers. Minnesota pounded out 158 rushing yards, while their defense sacked Goff 5 times. The Vikings have now won 4 straight games in a defense-fueled late-season surge that provides optimism heading into an offseason filled with offensive questions. Detroit drops to 8-8 after losing 3 consecutive games, missing the playoffs for the first time since 2022.